Hey, hello, my name is Jeremy Hall. I'm going to go over a brief introduction and overview of UT Health pharmacy, remote pharmacy workflows for Cutover. I want to go over very briefly what the Cutover is and what our goal is. So, Cutover is a process of entering admission patient data from the legacy system over into Epic. Very simple. We're going to create a robust medical record for staff to be able to take care of patients once Epic goes live. Our cutover day is going to be September the 9th. The go live is going to be September 10th at 3 a.m. in the morning. So there's a few things going to be transcribed. For the most part, we're really only focusing on medications, height, weight, and allergies. Nursing has a role to play for some of this stuff, so just know some of this stuff is happening in other places. Again, nursing pieces. So want to go over just a few responsibilities of different departments. Registration is going to be involved in part of this. They have to register patients into Epic. So they're going to take a snapshot of inpatient census and they're going to admit those patients. Nursing is responsible for entering in height, weight, allergies, home meds, and all non-medication orders, and all nursing record orders. Pharmacy might get ahead of nursing in some instances, so we have to check for the height, weight, and allergies because it is a hard stop in verification in a lot of places. So we want to make sure that's entered in, and if it's not, we can do so, and I'll show you how to do that here in a second in the demo. We want to enter in all active medication orders that are going to be active at Epic Go Live. So at 3 a.m., say today is cutover. I want to look at for anything scheduled for 3 a.m. and beyond. Anything that ends today, I don't really care about. So think about that and as we're going through the process. So runners are people that are going to organize our workflow and hand out charts. The runners are really going to be vital to make sure that we're moving in the right direction and we have everything kind of set aside and going to the right places. Those runners are going to hand out charts to Kimberly Hill, your project manager, who's actually going to be on site at the cutover. So Kim, as I understand, will put patients into a work queue for Cardinal to pick up and then begin working. For any other remote pharmacists, if you're not Cardinal, for anybody remote, the runners will assign you a chart via Teams chat. We'll have a Teams chat running in the background. So if you have any questions, then you can ask in that Teams chat, specifically clinical. We'll have pharmacists watching the queue, so they'll be able to answer any clinical questions. So Cardinal staff will be working from 9 a.m. to 9 a.m. So that should align for all remote staff. So we'll be working a 12-hour shift for this. So I will go through very quickly and just kind of go over a demo. So I'll start off with logging into Epic. I'm not going to go through the whole process of all your login pieces. So hopefully you've gone through a lot of that, tested that piece, and you can actively log into Sorin, your legacy system, Sorin Pharmacy, and Epic. So your login department will be UTT Pharmacy, and this will be in a tip sheet I'm sending along with this video. A lot of things I'm going to go over very quickly. We'll explain more in depth in the tip sheet. So we're going to continue and hit OK. Now, from this standpoint, we are logged into Epic. I'm going to change my dashboard. The dashboard, again, is how we're going to work through how we're handing out charts and what charts are where and what status. So this is how we're going to drive our whole workflow. So once this comes up, you should have I've already ran this report in the background, so you should have a box for the most part that says run. Once this pops up, hit that box that says run. We're only worried about the pharmacy sections of this. There's some other sections for nursing. We're not worried about those first two sections, only the pharmacy pieces. So there's a piece here we have to work out logistically. When Kim assigns a patient to you, we have to work out how we're going to identify what unit, hospital and unit they're in. So we still need to work that out, but this is listed by hospital unit, and these blue hyperlinks will allow you to go from here on this dashboard. So we're going to take one and we're going to click on it. And we're going to go to here, and you can see all these patients are admitted. On here, just a few pieces to point out. We're only worried about the pharmacy pieces of this dashboard. So the RX pieces and RX pieces, the last two ones in line. So start and pass. So we're going to find one that's not started. You would have a name, so you should be able to go to that unit, that hospital unit, and find them in this list. If you can't find them in that list, you can go to find patients, go to patient station as well, and then type in the patient's name, last name, find out, get the right identifier, and then find it. So they were looking for a test, something. We'll just be able to find it. Just look at the identifiers and you'll be able to select and go. So, but we're assuming we know what unit they're in. So we're just going to select one for now, double click on that patient, and it will open up their patient chart. First things we're going to do, we're going to look at identifiers, date of birth. Don't worry about medical record. Look at the bed, the room and bed. We want to make sure that we are identifying the right patient. If you have a chart and that patient has the right date of birth, but they're in the legacy system in a different room or bed or discharge, we need to kick that back to the runner for registration to fix that. Otherwise, we can continue moving on. Then we're going to look at height, weight, and allergies. This patient has this filled out already. We don't really have to do that. From here, we're going to go to the cutover activity. So cutover tab at the top, if you'll click on that, you can see height, weight, and allergies are here. You can enter in height, weight, and allergies on this patient from this section. So we'll just go through here. You could, if this was blank, could enter in height and weight and skip to here the allergies and enter that in. So already filled in, so we don't have to do anything from here. So we're not going to do anything with that now. Now on the checklist. So here, this checklist, this is the most important piece for our workflow on this piece. So cardinal, you're actually going to want to start tracking at this point in time that you're doing transcription on this, you're doing cutover. So I want you on here to actually start. So you have your own button that says cardinal. So you're going to say yes, and you're going to close. Now, why is that important? Because we're going to actually, you'll see this patient is not started. Now we're showing started. So this should keep people from opening up the same chart and transcribing at the same time. So make sure that you're validating this piece and starting the chart. So this checklist drives that dashboard. And I'll explain why that's important here at the end. So once you're done with this piece, then you can go directly to your orders and you can place a medication order. I'm not going to get too in-depth in medication orders in that process here, but just very quickly, just a few things. Just place your medication order as you should. Remember, you want to schedule it out based upon thought process that it's going to be active after 3 a.m. for go live. And then basically just go through here and hit accept. Pharmacists have the ability to sign and auto verify as a norm. We do not want to do that. Do not hit sign. We want to make sure we're going through that clinical validation. So please use sign and verify. Once you sign and verify, you click that through here. I'm in a development environment, so some of this stuff is not going to be available. Your prod environment will have this information, and it will be in the tip sheet. But your ordering provider is going to be the UT CMO, and that's going to be Dr. Thomas Cummins, and that will be in the tip sheet. And again, since we're in a different environment, this order mode will be cut over, and it should auto default to that. So order mode will be cut over, and it'll be ordering provider, and the insured by will be Dr. Cummins. So we're going to just we're going to dummy this in with other information for the moment. So once we've done that piece, we have to verify the medication order, and this might look slightly different than what you'll see for verification pieces. Your verify will be at the top, but from here, once we've verified this piece, it's done. All verifications done. Obviously, your process will be a lot more in depth. You have more medication orders, and it'll be a longer verification process, but that's all verified. You'll go back to the cutover activity and back to the checklist, and you're going to complete this and close. And you'll show on here. If you refresh, again, this is now complete. Now, this is important. I want to make sure talking about this workflow. We're only going to touch a patient chart once in the cutover process. If orders are changed, added, discontinued later on the line, Central Pharmacy will handle those, but they need to know whether this patient's cut over or not, so they know whether they need to make those changes in Epic. This is how they're going to do that. If it showed complete, they need to enter it in Epic. If it's not, then they're not going to touch it in Epic. They're only going to do it in Legacy. So this obviously could cause some orders not to get handled properly if we don't do this process right. Kim will be watching this, and so will the runners. So if we feel like there's people that need to be reminded to do this, we'll probably stop and talk about those things again throughout the day. So they'll be reminding everybody and making sure. But there's value points. Just make sure that this is done, and then we'll be good to go. There'll be more explanation in the tip sheet itself about the process. So again, this is very quick, understood. But for the most part, I think everybody knows how to enter in medication orders. Again, if there's any questions about something, you can use the Teams chat to ask, and then somebody will be monitoring that to help out. So we'll go through that piece. Thank you very much for your help in this process. It's going to be a long day. We're going to have a lot of patience. So hopefully we'll all get through this pretty easily. And again, appreciate your help. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Kim or myself, Jeremy Hall. Kim will have my email so she can help distribute some of those questions. Thank you for your time and good luck.